Sweetie, the library rat. I like being a rat, even though rats sometimes have a bad reputation. For example, if a person tattles or does something mean, another person might say, "You're a rat." I never tattle, and I'm not mean. Sometimes when my parents of the students first meet me, they ask Miss Krause, "Does he bite?" Miss Krause answers, "Does your dog bite?" "Would you keep him if he did?" "No, Sweetie doesn't bite." Then she'll hand me a treat to show them. I stand up on my back feet and wiggle my pink nose. I have heard people say, "This is cute," and I'm working hard to impress them. Then I take the treat very gently from Miss Krause, and I eat it, holding it with my fingers. Another thing people say if something is dirty and worn is that thing is ratty. I'm not dirty or worn looking. I have white fur and I spend a good deal of my time grooming it. Since the fur is mine and since I'm a rat, the fur is ratty, but it is also clean and neat. And if someone has messy hair, people call it a rat's nest. There you have it. I am a bit messy because I love to chew on things, not fingers, but just about everything else. Every year, the first story Miss Krause reads to the incoming first graders is Cinderella. Some of the children complain that they already know the story, but Miss Krause says she wants to start the year with a story that has a good rat role model. The rat in Cinderella is the hero of the story because he drives the coach that carries Cinderella to the ball. Without the rat coachman, Cinderella wouldn't even meet the prince. I love to hear stories even when the hero is somebody else besides a rat. My friend Twitch the squirrel often comes after school to visit. He's too shy to sit on the window ledge when the children are there because they move too fast when they see him. Twitch calls me his cousin and tells me stories about outside. I tell him stories made up from bits and pieces of the ones I've heard from Miss Krause and the children. In my stories, the hero is often a rat. In Twitch's stories, the bad guy is always an owl. One day, Twitch came not to the window ledge, but running into the library. "Help," he said. I wanted to say, "What?" But before I could finish asking, a dog ran in. Rats can't see very well, which is why when we are loose in a room, we like to stay near walls. But we are excellent at sniffing. I could smell that dog right away. He smelled angry, and then I heard him. "There you are," the dog barked at Twitch. "You make a tasty supper." In stories, that would have been called showing a character's intentions. I guess owls aren't the only ones who can be bad guys in squirrel stories. Twitch ran up the leg of the table where my cage sits. He grabbed hold of the bars of my cage and said, "Cousin, help!" "Back off," I yelled at the dog, trying to make my voice big and fierce. The dog was not impressed. His barks were a lot scarier than my squeaks. He jumped at us. He wasn't tall enough to be able to jump onto the tables where Twitch and I were, but he almost made it. He jumped again and got a little bit higher. So when the nails of his front paws scratched the wood of the tables as he tried to hold on, but couldn't. Twitch said to me, the rabbit says you can open your cage and let me in." "Good idea. The rabbit is very smart." I jiggled the latch. The dog jumped again. His front part landed on the table, but the weight of his back end made him slide off again. For a moment, he got tangled up in his own long leash, but only for a moment. He took a few steps away to get a running start. "Twitch," I said, "let's go to the door. I can't swing it open when you're holding it." "Twitch, let go." I swung the door open and Twitch ran in. I slammed the door shut. "Safe!" The dog leaped and this time he landed on the table. But he was going so fast he slid and ran right into the cage, knocking us into the display of an art books Miss Krause had set up. Books and a cage and Twitch and I went flying off the back end of the table. I was dizzier than that time Miss Krause put me on an exercise ball and one of the boys kicked it across the reading area. Except nobody was calling for a time out for this dog. The cage had landed on its side, and I could see that the door had not only popped open, it was bent back and would not close. The cage was no longer some place to be safe from the dog. The dog was looking a bit confused to find the cage wasn't on the table anymore. But then he spotted us on the floor and he jumped down. "Run!" I yelled to Twitch.